Do you think Josef Newgarden is back, Kobe? Do you think the momentum is back for Newgarden, especially since 3 of the last 4 they're on ovals?
I said, if you look at the point standings, Joe, I believe Josef Newgarden was 126 points behind with just a few races to go. Got Portland coming up next weekend, and you got a doubleheader at the Milwaukee Mile, and then got the season finale at Nashville Super Speedway. So that's 4 races left to go, and a 126 point deficit to make up. So I think Josef Newgarden will certainly have some momentum, but given the disqualification of St. Pete and some other issues that he had earlier in the season, I think even if Josef Newgarden goes out and tears it up, that it's still going to be an uphill battle for him to try to win this championship. I don't think that that everything favors Josef Newgarden right now championship wise, but I certainly think he can improve his points position and finish much higher than he is right now. So I think that's probably the most likely scenario that he improves his points position by a lot. But I think for a championship to happen, he's gonna need a lot of people ahead of him in the standings to run into trouble, and he's basically gonna need to win out the rest of the season. I think that's the only way that Josef Newgarden is gonna be able to get back in the championship fight. I really believe right now that if you positions 1 through 5, I think those are probably the drivers who have a realistic shot of winning the championship. Everybody else who's still mathematically eligible, I really don't think that they're going to be in it moving forward.
Especially, we're coming on a track Portland where we know Palou has won that twice. For Josef Newgarden, he needs to have a solid day at Portland because the milks you could gain on somebody's 49 points because last place gets 5 points. Yeah, there's bonus points as well, but 49 is the max you could gain. Josef Newgarden is going to really have to be near perfect. Survive Portland, I think, is the big key because, like you said, he is pretty close to that line for being eliminated. And as I mentioned, where he is chasing down Alex Palou. And Alex Palou, Kobe, just nice. Seemed like it almost went from, okay, this is not exactly going Palou's way to going Palou's way. And before I get into the question about Palou, let's go to the chat room because there's a question about the driver second in the points. Surprisingly, Colton Herta, who that means Will Power's now winning Battle of Mid with Colton Herta second in points. Brandon asks, do you think Herta stands a chance at the championship? Kobe, I gotta say, with Herta being second place in the points, mathematically, yeah, he does. What are your thoughts?
I guess we need to call Colton Herta Mr. Where did he come from? Because I still don't have any idea how Colton Herta got up there second place in the championship because it really seems like that Colton Herta, throughout his career that he struggled to put together races and it really seemed like that Colton Herta finally started to put together a few more races, and then there were some moments this season when Colton Herta messed up, and then we were like, yeah, this is the same old Colton Herta, who still can't put together complete races, but it really seems like he's starting to trend in the right direction right now. I think if Colton Herta can stay out of trouble and continue to show that he's grown and can put together those races and stay out of trouble, I believe he can potentially take the fight to Alex Palou. I don't think Alex Palou is a weak oval racer by any means, but if I had to bet money on it, I think Alex Palou would stand a much better chance winning on a road or a street course than he would on one of these oval tracks. And I do think Colton Herta is a solid oval racer, but sometimes it's it just hasn't worked out on the ovals for Colton Herta. But if I think Colton Herta goes out to Portland, has a good weekend, and then obviously go to Milwaukee and Nashville, try to finish higher than Palou in all of those events. If the cards fall in the line, Colton Herta might be the IndyCar champion at the end of the year. I think it is certainly possible. Although it really seemed like Colton Herta hasn't had the strongest season, but he's actually been doing a lot better than a lot of people think.
That performance last night from Colton Herta, going from, I believe, 26th or 25th on the grid.
He said to start in the back of the field because he had that crash in qualifying. Then the same people who who criticized Colton Herta, they were saying, see, that's why Colton Herta isn't able to take the next step. And then, to come from from the back of the field to go up there, get a strong points finish. I think it just shows, that Colton Herta is hungry. He really wants to have a chance at this championship. And yesterday we were heading into the race. A lot of people had low morale, disappointed, thinking, that this is going to be just like Iowa, where it was just a track position race, where the only thing that would be chaotic was the restarts. And then once it gets spread out, then you're basically going to be stuck behind another car and won't be able to move unless they have to lift or make a mistake, and that there was going to be any passing at all. But I think last night exceeded everyone's expectation. I thought it was a fantastic race. We saw a lot of passing, a lot of fun strategies to follow out throughout the race. Really would have loved to see it play out until the very end. But I thought last night's race at Gateway definitely exceeded everyone's expectations.
Definitely, it exceeded. Like you said, I thought it would be track position. We saw long green flag runs, but we saw plenty of passing all over, the strategies at different speeds. This was really a fun oval race. For Alex Palou, I felt like he was making a lot of passes early on. He started midfield, had to work his way up. It looked like it was not going to be a good day, but then when Will Power crashed out, Scott Dixon just not having a good day. And then Herta going from fourth to behind Palou in fifth. Alex Palou now 59-point lead over Herta. This means, regardless of what happened in Portland, Alex Palou is going to leave with the points lead unless he, for some reason, does not start the race, does not collect the 5 points, and Colton Herta wins, does everything to get all the bonus points. But as we showed on the graphic earlier, 11 drivers still mathematically have a shot at this championship. I think that's going to go down a lot in Portland. For Alex Palou, with Portland, a track he really likes, Milwaukee, doubleheader, an oval that I don't believe he's raced on, and Nashville, not the street course, the super speedway, the concrete speedway. Do you like Palou's chances of winning a second consecutive and third IndyCar championship overall?
Yeah, I still think Alex Palou is in the driver's seat to win this championship. I think all he has to do is just remain consistent, continue to finish in the top 10, try to finish in the top 5 if you can. I think if Palou is able to be consistent throughout the rest of the season, that this championship is going to be his no matter what happens. I think easily he's one of the favorites to win the Grand Prix of Portland this coming weekend. So I guess I think unless something crazy happens, you can check that off as a box where Alex Palou is going to have a very good race. And then the last 3 races of the season of the Milwaukee doubleheader in Nashville, that's going to be a major wild card. Like you say, Joe, Alex Palou has not raced at the Milwaukee Mile yet. Some of the older veterans in the field have raced at the Milwaukee Mile. It's been a while since IndyCar's raced at Milwaukee. Yeah, so I think that might be a trap for some of the veterans who have been here before. But as we already know, Alex Palou is a fast learner, so I think he could still have a great run in both races at Milwaukee and also like Nashville as well. I think that's going to be more of a veterans track. Some of the older drivers, like the Scott Dixons of the world, those are going to be the drivers who I would probably be looking at being one of the favorites heading into Nashville, since they've been here before, and it's also been a very long time since IndyCar's raced at the Nashville Super Speedway. So I think down the stretch here that you're going to see experience play a huge factor, but I definitely would not count out Alex Palou. I still think he can adapt to all the newness that's going to be coming with the last 2 races of the year at Milwaukee and Nashville to end up taking home another IndyCar championship.